So inside of what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about some rank building tactics, which is how to get your site and your content to show up in search. That's going to be kind of the basics of SEO. Then we'll go over planning, and that's going to talk about how you can plan your content for a product launch. I know not all of you guys have products. Some of you guys are service-based people, but this will still be relevant for your business as well. And then we're going to talk about content enhancements. And this is going to start diving deep into how you can get your content to perform better and to get leads for your business. Before we dive too deep, I don't think I've met all of you guys before. If you haven't, took my last workshop with Hub 101. So my name is Angelou Masters. I'm 34. People always ask me that, so I put it in there. I am an agency owner. My agency is called Jacker Digital. I focus on educating entrepreneurs and giving them the skills to run their businesses better. I am also an e-commerce brand owner, so I know the pain points and the struggles of running a brand online as well as the agency. I am an advertiser by trade. That's what I do mostly. I'm certified from Facebook, Google, and all of those places. I run ads on Amazon, and anywhere you can think about running ads, I probably run ads there for myself or one of my clients. I am a content marketer. I post like 60 to 80 pieces of content a week between myself, my brands, and my clients. And I am like super stressed all the time. And so that's something we probably all have in common. It doesn't go away the better you get at marketing. It's always going to be stressful. And so if you guys ever need my help, I want to just tell you guys right now that through my agency, we offer free consultations to help you guys grow your business. So if anything doesn't stand out today, we can talk about it deeper one-on-one. I'm not going to charge you for it. Just schedule an appointment with me. So before we dive too deep, let's talk about what is a lead. And so a marketing lead is a person who shows interest in your brand's product or services, and that makes them a potential customer. This doesn't matter if you sell products or services. A lead is a customer on both sides. And so the primary goal of any business is to generate as many leads as possible. And this is because, as you guys know, going through the funnel, people drop off. And so you need to cast a wide net. And as you move them through your conversion funnel and through your content and through your sales funnels, you're going to lose leads. So always think, my goal is to get as many people on the top of the funnel as possible. And today we're going to talk about using content to do that. I told you guys that we would start off talking about some rank building tactics. This is going to be the basics of SEO. So we can talk about how we can get your site and content to show up in search. This is one of the hardest things, but if we talk about it and we start making it a priority, then you can start performing better. I read somewhere that Google has over 200 factors that they consider when they decide where your content is going to show up. And so that is a lot of things to focus on. And so we don't want to focus on all 200 all the time. That could be even more super stressful than we talked about earlier. We want to try focusing on maybe 2, 3, or 4 of them, optimizing those things for your brand, and then seeing what we can do to get small tweaks. The first thing that you want to focus on in order to get your site and your content to show up on search for your keywords, no matter what the keywords are, is traffic. The amount of traffic to a specific URL is the strongest contributor to where your content is going to rank. And so you should always have a focus on driving more traffic to all of your pages. No matter how much traffic you're getting, you always need to be getting more traffic. That's going to be the first indicator to Google, Bing, Yahoo, any search engine of where your content is going to show up, no matter what kind of content that is. And so if you're trying to get more traffic, some of the things you can try is posting your content on multiple channels. Post your content everywhere. If you write a blog, share it on LinkedIn, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram in your story, share it on your email. Everywhere that you can post the link, you want to share it because you never know who's going to see it, who can reshare it, who can click it. And if you only post it and hope that organic people see it, you're not giving your content the best chance to get as many clicks as you can. So share it, share it, share it, reshare it. And then also, this isn't in there, but once you share it on a separate channel, click it. you click it yourself. So if you share your blog on LinkedIn, or you share your launch announcement on LinkedIn, then go to LinkedIn and click it, because that's going to register as a click. LinkedIn doesn't know that it came from your profile, it's you, but it might start counting as a backlink. It'll show qualified traffic is coming from these other sources. So be your first click, and then hopefully that won't be your only click. Maybe other people will click it or share it as well. Don't be afraid to ask people also, can they share this? That's one thing I don't see a lot of entrepreneurs doing a lot. You want people to see it, but some people don't know what they're supposed to do when you post your content, especially if it's not for them. If they're not in your target audience, they can still help you out by sharing it, and maybe someone who was in their audience might be your target audience, and then click it. So post it and then ask people to share it. This is a big one. So if you run Facebook ads, a lot of people run their Facebook ads only for conversion. So they only say they run conversion or traffic ads to product listings. But you should also be utilizing Facebook ads at the top of your funnel and using Facebook ads just to send people to your content. So I know it might seem like a waste of money to drive people to read your blog because maybe there's no conversionable activity on there, but sending those people to that page will register the traffic. And so you're kind of paying for people to help boost your content, but that's a great way to get the initial traffic to a page and start getting it ranking, is to kind of pay for it. So don't think of Facebook ads as only being used for conversion, or only being used for product listing, or even to a landing page or the gated content. You can use Facebook ads for content that has no sales purpose at all, but could help you rank in the future. Use email. I said this a little earlier, but email could be a great way to get traffic to your content as well. Whatever you're trying to drive traffic to, send it out to your audience, to your email list, and then those clicks and those traffics may help get you a boost in the search as well. And then this is similar to the Facebook one, but you can also use influencers to drive traffic to your new content. A lot of people use influencers directly for sales. They say, hey, I love this thing, go and buy this. But you can also use influencers to say, hey, I read this amazing article the other day. It really helped me out. It really solved my problem. It really did this. Go read this article if you also are having this problem. And again, that might be harder thing to budget for your brand because it's not going to be directly conversionable. People aren't going to, you're not going to be able to match your ROI to that influencer as tightly, but that can really help you boost a blog, your homepage, or any kind of content, whether it's visual, video, or picture content. Using influencers to drive traffic to that content could be a great way to get traffic if you're not getting it organically, or you don't have a good traffic generating source already. If you have any questions about traffic, go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we'll talk about it at the end of this entire section. Another important thing when it comes to SEO is technical SEO. This is some of the hardest for people who don't have a web design or a developer background, but technical and sometimes hidden elements on your website and inside your backend code can have the impacts on how your content ranks and how it shows up in search. Adjusting these things can help you make small improvements in your rank. And so I like to say technical SEO isn't going to take you from page 10 to page 1, but technical SEO can take you from page 2 to page 1. Or it can take you from ranked on the bottom of page 1 to maybe a featured snippet or ranked number 1 on page 1. And all of those things can greatly increase how many leads you get and how many people click on your content from the search. And so technical SEO, things to pay attention to would be your H1 title tags. That might sound like a different language to some of you guys, but it's really the main title of your page. It's what the search engines read as kind of important. And so you want your title tags to have a couple things. You want it to feature the keywords you're trying to rank for, and you want to make sure that you have one. Some people don't have the title tags or a H1 on their page. I, again, know I could be speaking a different language to some of you guys, but paying attention to your H1 title tags is the first part of your technical SEO that needs to be taken care of, making sure that every page has one and that the title tags are aligned to your keyword strategy. Alt text is something that is read by people who have visually impaired readers on their computers, but alt text is also used by people in the industry to signal what the picture is about. AI is getting a lot better at visually looking at a picture and seeing what it is, but they rely on things like alt text to also tell them what the picture is. Alt text is a great way to rank for image searches. And so if you're trying to rank your images on Google Image, make sure that you have a good alt text strategy for what you're putting in there. And you don't want to keyword stuff in your alt text. Google now can tell if you're keyword stuffing or if it's looking at a picture and the alt text doesn't align to what's actually on the picture, you can be dinged for that. So making sure that all your pictures have an alt text that is actually relevant to what the picture is and that it still kind of aligns to your keyword strategy can help give you a boost in image search and can help your page performance as a whole. Your video captions are really important. A lot of readers right now, like YouTube and even Instagram, they can listen to what your video is saying and auto add captions, but you want to add your own captions through an SRT file. It's pretty easy to do if you use a video editing software or if you have someone editing your videos for you. Similar to alt text and title tags, the computers and the readers read what's inside of your captions to get an idea of what your video is about. And so if you have the captions on your video, you're probably mentioning all your keywords organically. And so you want to make sure that you feed that directly back into the search engines. YouTube has its own search engine, which actually one of the factors for how you rank in the YouTube search is what's inside the video. So your captions are going to be very important to ranking your video content on YouTube, and YouTube is actually owned by Google. And so if you rank well on YouTube, your videos might also show up in the Google search. Your content length is important. This one, different SEOs might tell you different things. It is possible to rank a short article #1, but Google and other search engines feel like if you have a long article that is very thorough, you're probably more likely to answer the question that someone typed in. And so go for longer articles over shorter articles and make sure that you address the topic in depth. And that can help, again, it's not gonna take you from page 10 to page 1, but it might help you go from page 2 to page 1. I do have a demo for you guys. It's about making your own listing. And you guys can see I have a listing here from my brand, Jacker Digital. And when you type it into Google, this is what pops up. And this is going to pop up for all of you guys as friends. If you don't fill this in yourself, then Google makes it up for you. It just kind of reads whatever the first couple of lines on your pages and it types it in there. But that could not be your keywords. It could not make sense sometimes depending on what your brand is. And it could not be the best description for what's on the page. And so I think this is the one thing that I didn't queue up. I do see we have a question, so if there's any other questions, go ahead and type them in the chat, and I'll answer any questions after this section here. And so I design on Squarespace a lot. My website is on Squarespace. I also design on Shopify and Wix and WordPress, and all of them have this same feature. So no matter what your website is on right now, you probably have some way of accessing what I'm going to do right now. On my website, I press settings, and then here is very easy. I can press SEO, and you can see here, this description will automatically generate here. This is my home page. So this one generates automatically, but if I go down to any of my other pages here and I click SEO, you can see I have the option for putting in the title of what I wanted to say there. And I have the option for putting in a unique description for what it will say there. And so for any pages that you're trying to rank specific keywords, you want to include the title here, and then you want to include your keywords down here as well. This can also be a great strategy if you want to change your search engine for a holiday. I see some brands do this for holiday times. They may say Jacker Digital - shop our Christmas sale. And that way, when people search your name, they instantly know that you're having a Christmas sale and they can opt in. Jacker Digital, everything's 20% off. They can instantly see from searching that you're having 20% off, and they may be more inquired and inclined to click this. This is something else I do with my ebooks. I might put in a bracket here and I might say free, and then put the ebook there. When people are searching, that jumps out to them. And so this is a great way that you can design any kind of search listing that you want, no matter what your page is. And this can be really useful for not only ranking for specific keywords, if you feature the keywords kind of down here, but also guiding people once you are already ranked well, you can kind of stand out from your competitors by changing up either the site title here or putting specific things in your description down below. I'm going to check the chat. Okay, so I see a question about which kind of websites or CMS builders you should use. You guys just saw, I am a Squarespace fanboy. I'm not sure what you want to call it. I love Squarespace. They've actually changed their platform a lot over the last couple of years. They're moving away from templates, and you can get a really customized site there. It's also, before people would say like you couldn't rank unless you were on WordPress. That is not true. I've ranked websites with first page keywords on every site builder that's possible. It's more about the content now that you want to use and making sure some of those technical SEOs are taken care of. Sites like Wix, WordPress, and Squarespace are making it easy for you to change your H1, your H2s, and to see which ones are laid out. And so as long as you know what you're doing and you're not just making your titles based off size, like, oh, I want this to be really big, so I'm gonna make it H1, then all of those sites have a lot of power to still rank equally, I would say, more so focused on the content and some of the things we'll talk about later, like enhancements. I see a question here. Are there any pros and cons to changing SEO keywords frequently? Yes, there are. I wouldn't say there's many pros to that, but there are a lot of cons to that, because you will start losing rank for those keywords that you've already ranked for. So if I wanted to rank for marketing agency, and then I changed my entire website to rank for SEO agency, then I'm going to lose everything that I've worked for. And it may take me another 3, 6, 12 months to re-rank for those keywords. If I was getting traffic because I was ranking for certain keywords, then I'm going to lose that traffic. And if I don't have a way to recoup that traffic, I can lose money because I changed my keywords and now I've lost all of those traffic generators that were out there for me. If you are going to be changing keywords, often what I would suggest is instead building additional pages and then try to rank those pages for specific keywords. So I have a marketing agency, so I try to rank for marketing agency Los Angeles, digital marketing agency, but then I also try to rank for like how to run Facebook ads, you know? And so I write articles about that. Instead of changing my homepage to try to rank for Facebook ads, I write a lot of articles about it. And I have an ebook now, and I have a landing page for that. And so I try to rank in the background for some of those things while keeping my homepage focused on my main keywords. The last thing, part on technical SEO we're going to talk about today is backlinks. Backlinks means the source and number of links pointing to a web page are heavily considered by search engines. These inbound links are seen as recommendations by trustworthy sites. And so you can think of it as, if I told my friend to visit your shop, then that's a really good referral because it's from person to person. Google looks at other websites similarly to that. So they think Yahoo's really trustworthy. They think YouTube's really trustworthy. They think Reddit's really trustworthy. And so they think if those places are sending traffic to your website must be trustworthy. If CNN is sending traffic to your website, well, then they're not going to send traffic to websites that are, poor performance, spam, not really answering the questions. And so where your backlinks are coming from and how many of them are really going to be important to getting your content to be boosted. And so if you're having trouble getting some backlinks, which a lot of us are always having this trouble, some things you can try is piggybacking off your competitors. This sounds a lot more dubious than it is, but really if someone is writing about your competitors, then they're probably not brand loyal to those people. They probably just are brand loyal to the industry. So someone in here is an MMA content creator. If someone is listing, the 10 best gyms in your area, then you probably want to reach out to them, start a relationship, and let them know that you're also in the area. They're clearly not loyal because they wrote about 10 gyms, but that list can also be seen as reliable. If that list is ranking well, then you being featured on that list will rank your content well as well. So see who's writing about your competitors, see who's featuring them, see what websites point to them. You can use SEO tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs is the one that I use. And you can see who's writing about your competitors and who's also linking to their websites. They're highly likely to link to your website if you have valuable content as well. Leverage Reddit. This one is a little bit of something that I don't see used a lot. Reddit has a very high domain authority, which means that Google trusts Reddit a lot. And so if you have links coming from Reddit, it can give a really big boost to your content. And the great thing about this is that you can give yourself your own backlinks on Reddit. Now, don't spam it. People on Reddit don't like that. They will call you out. You might get kicked out of certain subreddits. But if you can find a way to organically link your content to a subreddit or to a question somebody has, it could be a great way to get an SEO boost to your content. Another great thing about Reddit is that it allows you to do anchor text, which means you can say, click here, and then they click it and go to your website. Well, Google and other search engines read those anchor texts to kind of see what your website is about. So if you say click here, it won't do too much. But let's say you are a cat leash, or you're an investment banking company. I think we have one in here. And you said, click here to read these investment banking tips. But they clicked on investment banking tips. That was a hyperlink. Well, now not only do you have the link from Reddit, which is powerful, but you also have that additional power where it says investment banking tips. That's going to help them know what your website is about. So you might start ranking for that keyword even a little bit better. Reddit is a very powerful tool for getting backlinks. So get on there. But again, find a way to do it organically. Those people will call you out. They will delete your posts and they will block you if it's not done correctly. Offer a link trade. If you can tell someone, I'll feature you on my website. If you feature me on your website, it's a great way for building a relationship in your industry and getting those valuable backlinks. And then also use internal backlinks. These don't count as much, but they do count for helping boost your SEO a little bit. So link to your previous articles, news, link to some of your content on your on your webpage and other parts of your webpage, and then always try to keep people inside of the ecosystem of your website. So internal backlinks are really strong and can be really great if you're still working on some of these other things we talked about at the top. See if we have any more questions. It doesn't look like it. And so I'm going to move on. We're going to talk about planning your content and how you can get your content, how you can use your content to get leads. I have a case study in this part, but before we go there, I want to let you guys know that it can take 3 to 6 months to rank on page 1 for Google. Everyone will tell you this. This is the statistic that you can't beat. Some people says it takes 5 months, but guess what? 5 is between 3 and 6. But I also want to tell you guys, not to scare you guys, it can take up to 12 months sometimes for things to rank on Google, which is why sometimes when you type in a query, the #1 thing at the top is an article from a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's because sometimes it takes that long for your content to rank. And so what that means is if you're planning something like a product launch or a new release, and you start planning your content 1 week before, 2 weeks before, or even 4 weeks before, it can be too late for your stuff to show up in Google to help boost your launch. I'm going to show you guys a case study. This part will be taken out of the video. Okay, so my next and my last section is going to be on enhancing your content. And I talked about this a little bit with that Stranger Things page we just talked about. And so enhancing your page means just adding some additional things to your page once we start seeing that it's ranked. And this is how you take your content from just being a blog or just being a landing page or just being a quiz or just being a picture to being a lead generator. You kind of have to do something to it. And I call those things enhancements. And so we'll talk about them today. The number one thing that you can do is add offers to your blogs. So add products or lead gen forms to your blogs that have begun to rank. Make sure that the offer is relevant to the blog content. I have this blog here that I wrote for my baby company. It's a list of baby names. It has 400 keywords. I think it has 30 page one keywords, including like names for your baby 2021. I had a featured snippet for this for a long time. This is actually one of the #1 generators for my brand. Even though my brand mostly sells blankets, you can see at the bottom of this, I added posters, name posters, because this blog is about names. And now this helps me sell these posters. These posters were not really selling, but now this blog is the #1 generator for both of these posters, because people who read this are definitely going to have a baby. They're definitely looking to name their baby. They might have a friend or family. And then when they come back, if they use one of these names, they might say, oh, I remember that poster. I'm ready to buy it now. This can work for anything. I put my free ebook for advertising onto all my advertising blogs. If you do a Q&A, you can say, have more questions, and fill out this form and access. This is a great way to start collecting customers and leads. So all of your blogs should always have some sort of offer on it somewhere that is related to not only your brand, but the content. If you are writing content that doesn't relate to your brand, then you're writing the wrong content either way. You want to use page-specific pop-ups. Depending on what kind of system you use, most of them will allow you to use different pop-ups on different URLs, or only show a pop-up on a specific URL. This can help save your brand money, but also can help you segment your audience a little better. This one on the left, you can see from Shein. They have a 15% offer and a 20% offer for orders under and over $100. This helps them because now they have two different email lists: people who shop under $100, people who shop over $100. And I bet you they're going to send them different kinds of emails and different kinds of offers, because these two people behave differently. People who spend, $7 and people who spend $700 or $500, they're going to behave differently. They're going to react to different kinds of offers, and they're going to be different. This can be the same for your business. Some pop-ups offer questions or little checks. So it can say, hey, are you a parent? Are you a student? Are you a returning student? Some people here, I see there's an investment banker here. You can say, what level of banking do you need? $100 to $1,000, 1,000 to 500, and then you can kind of have an idea of where these people belong in your business. You can use free giveaways. This kind of gamifies your content, and maybe a spin the wheel or something like that. You can see on that toy page, they offer a lot of different kinds of toys. All of them are for sale right now, but I wouldn't want to offer a Stranger Things toy on a Harry Potter landing page. It might not convert as well as people who are looking specifically for Stranger Things, looking specifically for Harry Potter. So I might say, enter for a chance to win a Stranger Things toy on this landing page, and enter for a chance to win a Harry Potter toy on this landing page. And I guarantee you, I'm going to have a higher opt-in on both of those two individual campaigns than if I just had one thing that said get 20% off or spend here to win a free toy of your choice. You kind of want to make sure that your pop-up matches your audience and also gives you an opportunity to niche down. Also, since we're talking about pop-ups, turn off the immediate pop-ups. That is one of the my biggest pet peeves. People are not going to enter your pop-up if it pops up immediately. So put it on maybe like 75% scroll or after 20 seconds. Pop-ups are really great for SEO as we mentioned earlier, if people give you their information, it's going to boost the SEO quality of that page. And so if you have a page where people are opting in a lot or signing up or giving you their information, then that page you'll see will start to climb the ranks on search, even if you don't do a lot of things to it. A page with a lot of opt-ins and a page with no opt-ins on the same traffic, the opt-in page is going to rank better. And so really use your pop-up not only to try to get people to give you their information and get a discount or join your newsletter, but try using it in your SEO strategy as well, because you want a high conversion rate so that you can signal to search engines this page is valuable. And my last tip is going to be to use quizzes on your homepage. You can see on the left, there's a senior living page. It says take an assessment to see what level of care you need. A lot of us can use quizzes in a lot of different ways. Quizzes are a great way to give something and get something. You're giving something to people who are entering the quiz, which is the answer, whatever they're looking for, but also more than likely, you're going to get information from them. You're going to get a lot of information about whatever you ask them. So if you ask them their income level, you ask them what they're looking for, their experience, any of that stuff, but most likely you're also going to get their email addresses, you might get their phone numbers, their names, and things like that. That can help you in your marketing, and it can also help you market to them on the back end. You can send them specific information or things like that. People taking these assessments and the quizzes will help you boost your leads. These are people you can directly contact. These are people you can sell to directly. You might be able to call them. If you have an e-commerce store, you can even use an assessment like which product is right for me, which of these products am I? And then once they take the quiz, you can offer them a discount on the product at the end of the quiz for taking the quiz. Oh, it looks like this figurine is actually the one that relates to your personality. And if you want it right now, you can get it for 10% off. Those kind of things take your SEO and then turn them into leads. I put your homepage here because homepages usually rank the highest. Your homepage is usually what pops up on search before your content, before anything else, especially if someone's searching for your brand name or any kind of branded content. Your homepage is going to be the first place that people are going to go to. And quizzes and all these other content enhancements, sometimes they cost you money. They cost money to your brand. So I wouldn't want to use a quiz on a page where it's not going to be as valuable, where you might not capture as many leads. Now, if you're already paying for the software, use quizzes, sporadically throughout your site. But if you only have one place you can use your quiz, or you can't really afford to have too many enhancements, use the quiz on your homepage. It's that way when people search, they get to your page, they see this, they give you their information, and then you can, again, follow up on the back end in order to convert those people into customers for your business. And so that's all I really have for you guys today. Hopefully we can chat a little bit on the end. You guys have some questions. Hopefully I didn't go too fast, but today we talked about rank building tactics. We talked a little bit about planning your content out early. And we also talked about some enhancements that you can start taking to turn your content from just content and SEO ranked content into lead generating content for your business. Before I get out of here, I do have a couple of special offers for you guys. I offer an SEO audit for any of you guys. We can get an in-depth personalized report. There's about 10 different reports that show you things on yourself, your competitors, and even some suggestions on what you should be doing to get better ranking for your site. I normally offer this to my clients for $150, but I really love Help 101, so I'll give it to you guys for $50 today. So let me know if you're interested in that. And then also I have a course where I talk about a lot of the things that we talked about today. There's about 30 lessons in the course. This lesson today is actually a mix of 2 lessons. I normally don't do this lesson, but this was a little bit from our lead generation section and a little bit from our SEO section. We kind of mix them in together. And so this course is a complete digital marketing course. It goes over everything. I have demos from, I think, about 14 different websites that we go over as well. It's normally $899. Again, I really love Hub 101. And so I'm offering it 50% off. I do have a couple of monthly payment options as well as a 3-month option, which means you can get this course for as low as $40 per month. If you guys are interested, I'll drop the information into the chat. But other than that, even if you never buy anything from me, I really, really thank you guys for attending today. And I hope that we can stick around and you guys have any questions for me, we can chat about your businesses.
Abel had a question about how if changing your keywords often can have a negative effect, right? When you're changing, you know, when you showed us your Squarespace,
yeah,
and you're changing the title and the description,
mm-hmm.
I think his question came shortly after that. Does that count as changing your keywords?
No. So that doesn't really count as changing your keywords. Your keywords are kind of your own, only you know what you're targeting and what your keyword strategy is. Google doesn't know. And so let's say your keywords were things to do in Oxnard, you know, only you guys know that, you know, and so maybe you might use that around your website a lot, or you might say when you're visiting Oxnard, you might want to do these things and you want to reinforce that. But let's say Restaurant Week is coming up and you guys want to focus on restaurants to eat at, not so much just blanket things to do. If you change your entire website to be Restaurant Week and you erase all those things that were generating things to do, then you would have a hard time going back to things to do later on. You wouldn't show up, you would lose all those keywords, they would show up as lost keywords, and then you would start ranking pretty much only for Restaurant Week and things like that. And if you keep doing that, you're gonna find your traffic is hard to optimize because you're gonna keep starting over from scratch. You're not gonna be able to optimize because you want to find out if Restaurant Week or Restaurant Week near me or Restaurant Week Oxnard kind of works the best. And all three of those are 3 different keywords. And so you're gonna take months really trying to optimizing those small details, like where do I put it? How do I put it? You know, and if you spend all that time, and time is money, you know, doing that, then you might not, it's going to be a waste of your time and money once you restart over again.
I know Wix asks you to choose 3 keywords, and then it recommends that you put each of those keywords on every single website page. That's like, I think their equivalent of choosing what your keywords are and then making sure that they're dusted throughout your website. Does Squarespace do something similar? Is that the
No,
standard?
it doesn't do that. That's just Wix's way of trying to low-key teach you SEO. You know, the same way I said, make sure your keywords are in your H1 title tag. They just kind of like force you to do that. But there's Squarespace doesn't do that. I don't like to talk crap about other services, but I wouldn't recommend Wix as much because of the way that they do their website builder. A lot of the times Wix pages are kind of one really long page, and then you can click maybe about, but it'll just like really quickly scroll you to the bottom about. That limits the amount of web pages that you have. And the more web pages you have, the more reinforcement power you have for SEO. So if you have an about page, then that kind of helps boost your homepage. And then you can link to each other, and then you have more places to talk about it. But if you only have one homepage with an about section, it can kind of reduce the amount of SEO power that you have. I would say start by focusing on less content and making it as powerful as you can. Even if you have a website with one piece of content on it, it's a blog or something like that, that's going to be a lot more powerful for your business than having like 30 blogs that are all kind of ish, you know? And then also each piece of content that you post has to be ranked individually. So if my website is ranked number 1, and I post a blog, it's not going to be ranked number 1. It's going to be ranked number 100 plus. And so I have to rank that blog now for individual keywords for, you know, a first place placement. For instance, I said my website is an agency, but I write a lot of blogs. I wrote one about using social media to convert followers. that is an entire different keyword strategy than my homepage. And then I have a blog that is what each of the Facebook advertising terms mean. That's a completely different keyword strategy. I have a blog on marketing trends. And so the more of them I do, the more work I have to do on each of those pages, adding enhancements, adding keywords, tracking them, optimizing them, so it starts to become more work to rank a lot of pages. And if you're a one-person team or a small person team, then you can kind of do a little bit to each content, but you can't do a lot to one piece of content. And so I would say focus on making powerful content that is over a lot of content. I would separate your services onto individual pages and then focus on the SEO of that service on that page. And so like I offer web design, I offer lead generation. I have a web design page and I have a lead generation page. Instead of having my home page, that way someone types in web designer Los Angeles, maybe I'll pop up. They type in lead gen, I might pop up. And then using internal links and then using blogs to reinforce that individual content. So have one service page if you have one service page, but I would also try to group the things that don't really go together into a different landing page. That way you can have a different keyword strategy for that individual page, and it won't have to hinder your other services, or they won't be fighting for each other. I said a lot of stuff today. Some of it was kind of technical, so I get it. But I think just remembering that each page has an opportunity for its own keyword strategy can help you out if you're figuring out like what do I choose to focus on. Well, don't choose anything, just make it on a separate page, and then use your homepage to talk about the overallness of your brand, kind of what ties those three services together under one business, to begin with. And then when you're trying to rank for individual services, use individual service pages for that. Plan your content. We can go into a whole different planning section, but it kind of goes to what Joe asked. More so than a spray and pray, that can be kind of hard for a lot of brands. I say take as much time as you can to plan one piece of content. It's hard right now because a lot of people want us business owners to be pushing out be a content farm. They want you to post every day. They want you to post on every channel every day. And so sometimes when people have that kind of mentality, it waters down your content because who has time to really post high quality content every day? I don't really have that train of thought, especially because Instagram and Facebook are becoming less and less of a place for conversion and more of a place for like brand awareness and things like that. So I say, on your website, on your videos, on your photo content even, take the time to really plan it because then it'll perform better. And then when it does rank, it'll have the power, it'll have staying power, because it'll be so good. It'll be well researched. Your photo content will be, high quality. Your video content will have the captions, the right content, the right chapters. All of that stuff really matters when your content is ranking. And when your content ranks, it's only going to be that one piece of content anyway. If you rank a blog, how to run Facebook ads, it doesn't really matter all the other stuff I posted. The person only wants to see that one blog. And so kind of make sure that when they get there, you're not hoping that they get there and then look at your other part of your site and then fall in love with you and to do that. You really want to answer their question or give them an image they're searching for, or give them a high quality video or high quality content, whether it's personal training or an MMA technique or showing them a tour of downtown, whatever they're looking for, that's what they're there for. They're not there to kind of see the answer to their question and then look at your website. So make sure your content is planned months in advance, research it well. And yeah, I do have a secondary tip as well. And that is to make content for your customers and your clients, not for yourself. And a lot of brand owners, including myself, can fall trap into this. We think, oh, this article is a good idea, and then it never ranks. And that's because no one ever searches for that, or no one's ever really interested in it. A lot of us, unfortunately, are not clients of our business. We are the business owners, but we may not be the people who would search. We may not be the target audience. And so if we're saying like what we think is a good idea for an article, and we're not even going to buy our own product because we don't fit the target demographic, we're wrong. So go research your articles or research your content. There's a lot of tools. Answer the Public is one I use all the time for finding content and finding out what people are searching for. And then I kind of write articles about what those people are answering. If we have like 3 minutes, we have 3 minutes. This was recently bought by Neil Patel. You can see him right there. He didn't used to own this website, but now he does. This website, I will give you a couple of caveats. It's for finding out what people are searching and then writing about those articles. It's free. I don't know what the new cost is with Neil buying it now. But they let you use it like once or twice every like 36 hours. It's not quite every 24 hours. So again, plan what you're going to use into this. And then once you do a search, save it. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So this is good for finding out what people are asking and related to topics. So we can use Joe's business. We can type in MMA. We want to make sure it's on the United States in English, and then we'll press search. And then down here, it's going to give us a lot of visualizations and keyword information related to the word MMA. Hopefully, it's not going to be too off the wall. And so you can see, trying to make it smaller, put in your screen. So you can see here, this is a who, what, where, why, when, why. So you can see this says, sorry, let me pause. All of this information is pulled from actual Google searches. So this is what people are actually searching in relation to MMA. So we can see where MMA started, where can I watch MMA, where is it legal, what countries is it legal, how MMA works, when MMA fighters lose control. There's all kinds of things in here. All of these can individually be titles for articles, or subject for articles, or subject for content. This could be video content, why MMA is better than boxing. But what I do more so than just pick arbitrarily is I go through this, I look for trends. So you might start seeing something stand out. So we'll see the who, what, where, why, when. Then you go down here. This is the 2-4 prepositional. So with MMA City, MMA with glasses, MMA to get in shape. And so you try to see if there's anything in here that stands out. Right here, we see another one. MMA is better than boxing. We saw that one up here already. So maybe that's a small trend already, is MMA versus boxing. That could be something that could be a good keyword. You go down here some more. This is a versus comparison. MMA versus boxing, we see again right there, versus karate, MMA and to or. And then down here, you see alphabeticals. So this will show you what other words alphabetically are associated with MMA. So you can see when we go to H, people say like MMA heavyweight champions, MMA headgear, MMA hand wraps. So again, if you sold particular products, you can know, or you're looking for maybe particular products to sell, you can see people are searching for headgear a lot and for hand wraps a lot. So maybe you want to highlight that, you want to write about that, or you can see that. So I use this all the time. Well, as much as I can for free, because I don't pay for this site, which is about once or twice every 2 days. But if you see right here in the corner, you can save this, this search. It doesn't look like this. You're going to lose a lot of the images. So what you can do is you can save this image individually and put it in a folder. But then when you save this, it's going to give you like a spreadsheet of all of these different queries here. And this is what I use to kind of scout, get a pulse on what people are saying about any particular topic. Because sometimes, again, we think we know what a topic is about, but then we look and we don't. For that article, I told you guys I wrote about the baby names. This article that I said I had the enhancement on, I would have never written this article if I didn't see it inside of Answer the Public. People kept saying, I typed in Black boy, and then it kept saying Black boy names. What are names to name your Black boy? What are the best Black boy names? Black boy names versus Black. And I was like, oh, wow, that must be a really, cool thing to write about. And I did. And I'm telling you guys, this article has generated so much traffic for my brand. I think I have it up here still. To this day, and I wrote it almost 2 years ago, I still get 409 people per month, and I still have 380 keywords here, and it's almost 2023, and that article has 2021 in the title. Before, I think I've gotten over 10,000 hits just to this article. And I literally wouldn't have ever written about it, but I found it on Answer the Public. And I now find most of my article titles on here, and I recommend it to all of my clients all the time for getting a post on anything. You can't put too many words in here. You can put 1 to 2 words in here, sometimes 3 words. But also, if you have a competitor brand, that could sometimes tell you also. So maybe you put in, Amazon in here. I think I'm at my limit for the day. You can put in a brand there, and then you can see what people are saying about your competitor brand. So is Amazon expensive? Is Amazon going out of business? And then that can give you also a post where people are talking about your industry. And then you can write about that, or anything. So I use this website a lot. It's a very powerful SEO tool. It can be free for a certain number of uses per day. And it helps you, again, take yourself out of the guessing game. Like, I don't have to worry about what do I want to write about. I already kind of know the fundamentals of digital marketing. So some things I think like people don't want to hear about that, and I search it, and people are definitely asking about it or definitely answering questions. And so use that tool or tools like that. See what people are writing about your competitors, and then or what content ranks well for your competitors, and then you can write content that ranks well for that. If you make video content, see what kind of video content performs well for your competitors, and make similar video content but your own brand. That kind of stuff really does have the power to boost really well in search engines.
Thanks for sharing that with us, and also thanks for using your last search query for us too.
It's okay. I'm not doing anything else today. I'm not writing any articles this week, so. I'm on the fence. Here's the thing. It's not how I feel. Google doesn't like it. And so we kind of have to go with whatever Google says. Now, they're not all the way there with being able to track the AI generated content to be able to tell what it is. But Google's getting smarter. The same people who make the AI content work for Google, so eventually if they do figure out you used AI generated content, they're going to ding your content down a little bit. So what I would say, because we're all on time crunches here, you can use your AI generated content for ideas or for outlining, and then update it yourself. So go back, change it, make it better, maybe see what it suggests the titles might be. I saw AI generated content that could give you all the titles for all your sections. So maybe you put in like 10 best exercising tips, and you let it generate the 10 tips, and then you go back and you refine those 10 tips. Maybe you don't know what the 10 tips would be, but the AI can figure out sit-ups, crunches, this, that. So you use it to generate that part of your blog, but then you go back and you make each section your own section. I would recommend that versus just generically posting it, because one, you don't know if that AI generated content is offering the same content to someone else online, and duplicated content online gets dinged. If I post a blog and you post a blog that has the same exact wording, we're both going to get dinged for that. And so you don't ever want your content to be on someone else's website. It's not going to have the same tone as if you wrote it also. So you want to be able to, put your own personality in there. And then two, just always remembering that Google has explicitly said they don't want to rank AI generated content. And you can definitely hire a local copywriter. I think we have one in the chat. Thanks for joining me today on this random Wednesday to talk about SEO.